Hello there, it's Amber here. I've made it my New Year's resolution to reach 21 subscribers on Patreon in 2021, and I need you, yes you, to help make that happen. We truly depend on the kind monthly contributions of listeners like you to help us keep our small independent operation going. So if you would have the means, we hope you'll head on over to our page at patreon.com/bndpod to see our tiers and subscribe at whatever level works best for you. Not only will you get perks like 2 extra episodes a month, early ad-free episodes, and access to our monthly newsletter, but you'll also help unlock special extra episodes on our main feed with every 5 new subscribers we add. Sound good? Then again, we hope to see you soon at patreon.com/bndpod. Later all. Page 16, February 12th, 2021. Hello all, and welcome to the Book Nerd Diaries, the bite-sized bi-weekly audio journeys of a bookworm through an endless-to-read list. My name is Amber, and of course, I am always happy to be your humble host and resident bookworm. Whether you're a new or returning listener, whether you're a book nerd like me or not, I am incredibly glad you're here to share this time with me. At the top of our show, I just wanted to give my deepest thanks to Julie and Katie, aka one of the best sisters a girl could ask for, and donator of the amazing recording booth setup I'm recording in now alongside my brother-in-law, Sean, for being our benevolent subscribers on Patreon. You truly are the best, and we can't do what we do without you. Also, we would like to say thank you so much to everyone who has so kindly given us a 5-star rating and review on Apple Podcasts, shared our posts on social media, or told the people in their lives about our show, as these are the best ways to help our nerd nation grow. Every bit of your support helps and is appreciated beyond words. We have a super, pun intended, book to talk about today, but before we get into it, I'd like to go into a little segment of our show called Not Quite Breaking News, where I give you a quick breakdown of my favorite recent book-related news. In today's top story, yesterday, February 10th, the NX on Netflix account on Twitter broke the absolutely incredible news that Patrick McHale, creator famously responsible for the flawless animated autumn classic Over the Garden Wall, is now working on an adaptation of the Redwall series by Brian Jakes for Netflix. For the uninitiated, the Redwall series, as best as I can describe it, is a YA-targeted medieval fantasy epic along the lines of Lord of the Rings or Game of Thrones, following the adventures and struggles of the residents of Redwall Abbey, a forest sanctuary populated entirely by woodland animals such as mice, hedgehogs, and squirrels. As the Redwall books were some of my early favorites in my younger years, and the fact that they are making their way to the small screen is wonderful news enough, but with none other than the master Patrick McHale at the helm, there's no doubt we're in for quite the treat. This, folks, has been Not Quite Breaking News. Thank you so much for indulging this little tangent of mine, but now is the part we've all been waiting for, our main discussion for today. So, what do you say? Let's get our book nerd on. For time immemorial, it could easily be said that people have always been fascinated by superheroes. From the earliest recorded mythology of gods and monsters, to early masked vigilantes like Zorro and the Scarlet Pimpernel, to the Technicolor pages of Marvel and DC Comics, and the countless movies and TV series that came from them, we've always told each other stories of people with the powers to do things beyond imagining for us mere mortals. And why wouldn't we? In a world that is endlessly heavy and confusing and full of pain, who wouldn't want to imagine that a reality exists where selfless, stalwart heroes like Spider-Man or Superman can swoop in out of nowhere to save the day and take at least some of that pain away? The thing that superhero stories don't tell you directly, though, is that all of us hold our own sort of powers, and that you don't need to be Captain America or Iron Man to change the world in your own way. You already have what it takes to be a hero, and in the end, all you have to do to start making a difference in the world is care. The wonderful book that I'm going to be talking about today Supernova, which is the third and final installment of Marissa Meyer's Renegades series, features a world full of superheroes with incredible powers, but gives the superhero genre a completely unique spin that makes it absolutely wonderful read. Supernova concludes the tale of Nova, aka Nightmare, member of notorious villain group the Anarchists, and Adrian, aka Sketch, member of a superhero collective known as the Renegades. Nova has infiltrated the Renegades under the new pseudonym Insomnia in order to destroy their organization from the inside out and bring ultimate victory to the Anarchists. As Nova and Adrian, who hold secrets of his own, grow ever closer to each other, however, their loyalties come into question, and the line between hero and villain ends up becoming ever blurred, as both must go against their formerly held beliefs to save the worlds and the people they love. This book found its way onto my list as I had previously deeply enjoyed Marissa Meyer's sci-fi flavored fairy tale remix series, The Lunar Chronicles. Naturally, her completely original spin on stories like Snow White and Cinderella made me eager to see her take on the beloved superhero genre with the Renegades trilogy, which made it an absolute no-brainer for this show. Not to mention, as this is February, the month of love, I thought it only fitting to share with you a book that features a tumultuous will-they, won't-they romance between a hero and a villain. Happy Valentine's Day, all. I don't wish to give away any crucial spoilers for this book, in case anyone out there would like to check it out for themselves, and so I would like to share with you a few of the broad features of this book that I enjoyed the most, in a segment I like to call the highlight reel. In no particular order, my highlights are: Number 1, Nova. With a lot of superhero media, the story traditionally centers around the heroes themselves and their efforts to thwart whatever supervillains they have to deal with that day. With Supernova and the rest of the Renegades trilogy, however, the story is actually told, at least in large part, through the eyes of the villain, which is incredibly refreshing. What makes Nova such a compelling villain and main character is that though she is on the side of the quote-unquote bad guys, she is not merely an evildoer bent on total destruction. In fact, she truly believes she's doing what's right for the world. When she was young, her entire family was tragically murdered by a gang, without any intervention whatsoever by the renegades who were supposed to protect them. After this, she is taken in and mentored by her uncle, Ace Anarchy, the powerful Magneto-esque leader of villain organization the Anarchists. Being raised in the ranks of the Anarchists, and feeling as if she has been forsaken by the Renegades when she needed them the most, she sees it as her duty to carry out her uncle's vision of a world where those with powers need no longer have to hide, and to avenge her family on the Renegades, no matter what the cost. In the end, she is not just evil, but simply a person who misses her family, and is doing what she can to protect the only people who have been there for her. Number 2, Adrian. Our other protagonist and second highlight is Adrian, the good-hearted adopted son of Captain Chromium and the Dread Warden, two of the highest up and most universally beloved members of the Renegades. He adores his father's and his adopted brother Max, and believes in the Renegades' work with all his being, but there is one point where he must go against his family. His mission to find Nightmare, the villain who may be behind the tragic death of his mother. In this mission, he goes rogue and crafts a secret new persona for himself as the Sentinel. The Nightmare and the Sentinel are constantly at odds with each other, even as their real-life counterparts, Nova and Adrian, begin to fall in love with each other over time, which certainly makes their dynamic far more complicated. Just as Nova is secretly acting as a spy for the Anarchists, Adrian is willing to bend the rigid rules of the Renegades in order to preserve his double life and bring justice to his mother's killer. In many ways, he is the yin to Nova's yang, and they begin to realize that maybe they aren't so different in the end after all. Number 3, Superpowers. I know that there is an awful lot of superhero media out there, but what I love about the Renegades trilogy is how unique a lot of the powers are that the prodigies, aka superheroes, have. Nova has the ability to make people fall asleep with a touch, and Adrian has the ability to bring anything he draws to life, or even give himself brand new powers by giving himself tattoos. Beyond our main characters, though, there are also characters who can control bees, transform into a swarm of butterflies, bring origami to life, turn kids into puppets, or turn their own blood into gemstone weapons. These should certainly all be super fascinating abilities to have, and I love that they largely have no parallel in any other superhero media, so major kudos to you, Marissa Meyer. In the end, I would definitely recommend this book and the Renegades trilogy to anyone who loves the cherished tradition of superhero stories. If you grew up with Batman and Superman cartoons on Saturday mornings, waited eagerly in line for each new Avengers movie when they came out in theaters, and currently can't wait for each new episode of WandaVision on Disney Plus on Friday mornings, then boy is this the series for you. What's more, it's just a fresh enough story with its own unique YA literature spin to make it worth checking out whether you are well versed in the world of superheroes or not. As this story largely revolves around warfare between heroes and villains, there is a fair amount of violence and death that occurs throughout the book, including mentions of the deaths of Nova's family and Adrian's mother, and some of the secondary characters have pretty tragic backgrounds too, so please be warned in that respect. But if you weren't upset by the level of violence in the Avengers movies, then I believe you should be more or less alright. This concludes our main discussion for today, but worry not, Nerd Nation. There's more Book Nerd Diaries to come after this quick break. Are you an author, fellow podcaster, or small business owner looking to spread the word about your product or service? Then let us help you. We offer a number of affordable monthly advertising packages in various price ranges, so if you'd like to hear your ad here in future episodes, please head on over to our page at ko-fi.com/bndpod and click on the shop tab to see what works best for you. Again, that's ko-fi.com/bndpod. Then click on the shop tab. We can't wait to work with you. Are you looking to create your first podcast like I have, but don't know where to start? Then I would like to introduce you to an amazing tool called Anchor. If you haven't heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. Let me explain. It's a completely free service that offers creation tools to let you record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer, then distributes your podcast so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many more. What's more, you can make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place, so what are you waiting for? Download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. And welcome back, everyone. We missed you. Now that we're on the other side of our break, we're now to that ultra nerdy part of our show, the Trivia Corner, where I give you a trivia question related to today's book. Since we've been delving into the world of superheroes today, here's a superhero-related question for you today. Ready? Your question is, which of these is not the name of an actual superhero? A. Matter Eater Lad, B. Arm Fall Off Boy, or C. Mecha Chef? Your answer is C. Mecha Chef. Believe it or not, Matter Eater Lad and Arm Fall Off Boy are the names of real superheroes that appeared in the DC Comics universe, first appearing respectively in 1962 and 1989. C. Mecha Chef is naturally a ripoff of Ratatouille. They may not be Captain America or Superman, but bless them for trying anyway. My source for this question was a ScreenRant.com article called The 12 Weirdest Superheroes You've Probably Never Heard of by Fred Blunden. We've almost reached the end of our episode, everyone, but before I go, it's time once again for our listener poll. This time, we'd like to ask you, if you could be part of a superhero team, which one would it be? We'll be posting the poll up on our Twitter and Facebook feed soon, so please head on over to cast your vote, and I'll read the results during our next episode. With that, dear listeners, we have finally made it to the end of our show. Next Friday, we'll be releasing a new episode of Storytime exclusively on Patreon, and in 2 weeks, we'll see you right back here to open another page of the Book Nerd Diaries. See you then! The Book Nerd Diaries and its associated shows are written, hosted, edited, and researched by me, Amber Wilchin. Thank you to Kevin MacLeod for the use of our theme song, The Show Must Be Go, and Anchor for providing our wonderful cover art. If you would like to connect with us online, you can find us on Instagram or Twitter at BNDpod, or you can find us on Facebook at facebook.com/booknerddiaries. You can also join our private Facebook group there. I'd love to see you. If you would have any questions, comments, or book suggestions you'd like to throw my way, please feel free to drop us an email anytime at bndpod@gmail.com. I'd love to hear from you. Until next time, everyone, don't forget to take care of yourselves and each other. We need you. No capes. And always keep on reading.